everybody got a little bit of some soul over the weekend, long Memorial Day weekend. Hopefully you made time to remember those that we lost at the ultimate sacrifice to protect our freedom, and Memorial Day is certainly one to reflect on that. That's for sure. You probably hit the beach. You probably had a barbecue, whatever. You might still be stuffed from all the food you made and carved into, but we hope that you'll hang out with us for the next couple of hours. We're missing Matt Hayes today. He's got the SEC spring meetings in Destin, Florida. Cushy confines, right near the ocean, right near the Gulf, I should say, the Gulf of Mexico. They don't send them to a Motel 6 or anything like that, Leon. Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
That sounds so good.
Yeah, he's beachfront for sure.
Yeah. And so their beachfront, just kind of like the ACC beachfront, the Atlantic with the Atlantic Coast Conference. So, they will be playing the ukulele later on today, that's for sure. And we may even have the ukulele to play a little bit later on, something to do with the weekend where the New York Knickerbockers, for the first time since 1999, are in the NBA Finals, thanks to a sweep of the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Well, as if New Yorkers aren't already annoying. This is going to make me even more annoying.
Well, it's so funny. It's hard to believe. And you can add them all up. Add up all, now, sans the Yankees, okay? But all the other teams that haven't really done a whole heck of a lot in terms of hoisting trophies. New York Knicks haven't won a trophy since, 73?
Well, the Yankees haven't won in 15 years.
It's true. I guess you could include them in this conversation. They played for it a couple of seasons ago, but at the same time, they haven't won one in a while.
The Knicks haven't won since 73. We're talking about Phil Jackson's Knicks.
Yeah, so the last
Don't worry, they won't win this year either.
They are basically, they will be considered a better bet against the Spurs, but a clear underdog against the Thunder.
Are we talking Willis Reed?
Yeah, that's how far back we're going.
Wow, bro, that's
73.
73.
And we'll even go over that roster because it might have been Riley and Phil and all those guys that were at the end of that bench. But that's how long it's been. And then it's the first time since 1999 that they even made it to the NBA Finals.
Wow.
And that was the strike-shortened season where the Spurs, the other Spurs, the Admiral Spurs, ended up beating them in, I think, 4 or 5 games.
Was that...
that was Allen Houston, Latrell Sprewell. I think an older Patrick Ewing was on that team.
Yep. Was that a 50-game season?
Yeah, I think something like that.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I like the part that they still get courtside tickets, man. Well, it's behind the basket, but it's still on the court.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they've done a great job of, bringing all the older guys back. The vibes have been amazing for the Knicks and at MSG. Even though they won this one on the road, they brought the party with them to Cleveland. You saw all the celebs were out.
Yeah. And the Cavalier fans just said, y'all, we're out. We're done. We're cooked. And so Mike Brown, who used to coach the Cavs, enjoyed that probably as much as anybody.
It had to be sweet. Absolutely.
Yeah, the Knicks haven't lost in weeks.
And
literally.
They're smoking the opponent right now.
Yeah.
The way they finished the Eastern Conference semis and then obviously went into this feeling pretty dang good about themselves and then took care of business.
Should they be worried about Russ? Because I'm thinking that the West is going 7.
They should just be worried about Wemby or OKC.
Yeah.
Russ is probably the least of their worries.
I'm talking about too much rest. Because when you're on the road like that, you want to keep playing. You want to keep playing.
I'm going to see the game 1. Let's see when it happens.
Yeah, because they want to keep that bad boy on schedule. But I do get what you're saying, is that they're red hot right now, and the last thing you want to do is put your feet up and relax and think you got it and so on and so forth. But game 5 tonight, like you just said, it may go 7.
This is a must win. This is it. This is the determined. Game 5 is usually the determinant, right?
Yeah. And this has been a good little back and forth between these two teams.
Yeah, if you lose this, you got to win 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Obviously. By the way, I just looked it up. It's June 3rd, so it is only Wednesday.
Okay.
Next Wednesday.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
I've seen longer waits.
Right. They'll kind of get their feet underneath them again, rest a little bit, watch and game plan, all that kind of stuff, and at least see who they're going to play and get a good look at them.
And you never know what, injury-wise, is going to happen to these two teams in the West.
Look what has happened.
Yeah, already.
With a bunch of injuries that have affected them one way or another. De'Aaron Fox tries to come back. He hurts himself again. What was that? An ankle that he sprained again. And you can go on and on with
OKC, 2 key injuries.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes tonight between those two. But Memorial Day beyond that, how was it?
Well, first of all, I gotta give you your flowers, okay?
Yeah.
Ask Joe Coward to hook the brother up. And you did. I said, Joe, me and the wife want to go to a spa day, World Golf Village and this, that, and have a little spa day for one day. And I went to it I got presidential suite. Bro.
Wow.
Oh,
Presidential
nice.
suite. That's the Joe Coward effect.
Absolute VIP treatment.
Absolute VIP treatment. I mean, I even got a 4 p.m. checkout. That lady said, do you want a late checkout? I said, yeah, what's late? She said 4 p.m. I said, I'll take it.
Day.
I'll take it all day. I'll take it all day.
Listen, I would love to take credit, but it was Brother Seeley that went beyond what I could do. So that was good stuff.
Well, I appreciate Brother Seeley.
Yeah, I love hearing that.
Yes.
Sometimes you just, when you're a legend like you, bro, people just know how to treat a legend.
I appreciate it, bro. Listen, me and the wife appreciate it. The balcony, the jacuzzi tub, everything. Everything was beautiful.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Whenever someone needs something, I'm like the old supply sergeant. Like, I know a guy. I know a guy.
Like I might not be able to help you, but someone else that I know probably can.
I know a guy. But you had a good time.
Had a great time.
You were at the beach. Did you go?
I went to the beach. Night before, went to go see our jumbo shrimp play. It was fantastic. Let's just say I had to get a ride from my pregnant wife to the game. Okay, that's how much I was enjoying my Sunday night.
Oh yeah.
And then we took like the elevator up because my wife didn't want to walk her 8-month pregnant ass up 3 flights of stairs.
Who could blame her?
Yeah, and I was like, fine, let's do it. We are in there. And I made a mistake of like not getting off and thinking there was a third, but there was only 2. And then it takes you right back down to the first one. And so this guy, the beer guy, who had like a cart full of beer, who was waiting on us politely to come back for the elevator to come back empty, it came back with us.
Yeah.
And he rolls in there anyways. And he's like, he recognized me from the radio.
Oh, that's
And so
cool.
I was embarrassed because I was looking like a total dumbass in that moment. But yeah, shout out to him.
No, it's only 2 floors, right?
Yeah.
The Sundowner Lounge.
He even
was right
made a
there.
comment about maybe not doing something before you go to the game because I was so confused about where I was going. But shout out to them.
Oh, nice.
Jumbo Shrimp. It's a fantastic night out. Cheap,
They
fantastic, great beer drinking atmosphere.
yeah, they
It was
really
awesome.
and you can go back
It was
to
packed too.
first off, go back to the Bragans, okay? They were great owners, and Bragan Field, it's appropriately named. And then when Kim Babby came in and they did all their deal to make sure that it got to 10,000 seats and make it AAA and all the stuff, and then now he's part of the big doings with this group, financial group here in town, going down and purchasing the Rays, and they're still trying to figure out their stadium situation. But anyway, it doesn't really matter who is running or owning. It's a good experience.
Oh, yeah.
No matter what.
I got to cheer against Tommy Pham, who played on the other team. Remember, Tommy Pham was the one who got in a fight with Jock Peterson over a fantasy football game a few years ago.
Yeah, they dusted
and
it up.
punched him in the outfield.
And I think his Jock Peterson's hair instantly turned blonde. It was dyed
Yes,
right
it
then.
stayed like that.
He got his butt beat. But it's how bad was that? Either a misunderstanding.
Was
as
it
far
a
as what
trade? Or someone didn't pay on time?
Somebody didn't pay on time, or there were females involved. Something. I'm
Listen,
not quite sure.
I've been in my league for close to 20 years at this point. Never once have we had a fist fight because of it.
Yeah, which is just nuts.
Well, how much was the league, though? It depends.
That was a lot more than my $200 buy-in league, I'm sure.
Yeah, we're talking about thousands of dollars.
Yeah, we're talking about major leaguers.
Okay,
Yeah, major leaguers, they got big dough.
Oh, yeah.
And they like to kind of say, hey, let's make it interesting, that type of deal. Whenever we make it interesting, it's like a Benjamin.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of stacks and stuff like that.
You know how it is when Boo Ray's going down. Like, there's money going.
Yeah, I've seen it. That is worse.
Yeah,
I've seen car keys dropped.
Wow. But any fist fights?
No fist fights.
No, okay.
No. Car
But cars exchanged, titles exchanged.
Titles exchanged, that part. Yeah, nothing serious.
That is wild.
Just drive you home afterwards.
All right, so let's get into a couple of things. SEC spring meetings is going on. Greg Sankey's already talking. He's talking about, I tell you what, I have heard so many numbers, like the minutia of the numbers, and is it going to be 12, 16, 24? And Sankey said, you know what, the H, I'm going to go ahead and put a 28 out there in the ether so you guys can deal with that. He said, basically he's playing the game. And so it's a shell game right now trying to figure out where any of these conferences and their leaders, their commissioners are going to go, where the football coaches are going to go, where the actual presidents are going to vote to go, all that stuff, man. It's driving me nuts. But I'm hoping we're going to start talking about some ball at some point. But a 9-game league schedule is really important for the SEC, so we will get into that coming up. But also the OTAs first practice that the media will be able to see is coming up later. So we'll touch on both of those subjects if we get it going on XL Primetime. A good-looking Tuesday out there. Hope you guys had the long holiday weekend and enjoyed Memorial Day, but also remember those we lost. You guys hang out with us. Hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010.
XL Primetime.
Driven by Duval Ford.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
1010XL.
I suggest we use it.
Jacksonville Sports Empire.
It is your destiny.
What if your next fun day out cost you $70 to play all day? That's exactly what you get at the Battalion Airsoft Arena, the only indoor airsoft battlefield in Jax. Skip the same old boring entertainment choices and step into real action with your crew. Perfect for birthdays, company team building, graduation parties, or just epic weekend fun. No experience, no problem. The Battalion package includes everything: gun, mask, and ammo with unlimited play. So lock in your mission now at BattalionAirsoftArena.com.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Sent in, and Sporting Jacks breaks through first.
For the latest on Jacksonville's pro soccer teams, join the Sporting Jacks Coaches Show, presented by Honda of the Avenues, every Tuesday night at 6 on 1010 AM and 1010XL.com.
College football isn't just a season, it's a sisterhood. Bold Ladies is the women's membership group of the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl, where community, connection, and college football come together. This is Stacy from 1010XL, and I enjoy my membership. From exclusive events to networking, philanthropy, and unforgettable game day experiences, Bold Ladies is where women make an impact. Visit TaxSlayerGatorBowl.com and join today.
We went to probably 4 or 5 jewelry stores.
Jacksonville's Mitch Fandel went to the town center looking for an engagement ring, but found the big box corporate jewelry experience wasn't for him.
Nobody's really helping us. One of the stores, some people walked in behind us and they were offered beer and champagne, and I'm wearing shorts and a cutoff, so I don't really look the part. So I was like, well, I guess we'll go somewhere else. I don't know if they think we can afford to shop here or what.
So he went across and discovered locally owned Beards Diamonds.
When I walked in, everybody just said, hey, welcome in, welcome to Beards.
Mitch loved the service and attention he got at Beards and ended up with a bigger, better quality diamond.
It was about twice the size of what I thought I could afford, and it was also about twice the size of what my wife thought she wanted.
Today, Mitch tells all his friends, shop local, shop Beards.
You're going to get the best deal on the best diamond.
Unbeatable value, unmatched selection, uncompromising personal service.
Anybody that I know, I want them to shop at Beards.
Beards Diamonds, St. John's Town Center.
Mortgage rates have dropped. They're expected to move lower. Home sales momentum is building. So now's the time to get your home ready to maximize your sales price. It's time to call Chad and Sandy, the proven experts to sell your home. Maybe you have concerns about putting your home on the market and getting it sold. Well, let me alleviate those for you. There's a real quick solution. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold or they will buy it. Call 414-6200. or go to chadandsandy.com. You'll find out for yourself. Chad and Sandy, the local real estate experts I trust and recommend with the sale of your home or mine. Using their proprietary Market Max system, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Anthony and Mary in Palmco said, we needed to sell our home to move closer to family, but low cash offers weren't cutting it. Since we'd only bought a year earlier, options felt limited, but not for Chad and Sandy. Call Chad and Sandy today, or log on to chadandsandy.com.
When my dad tore his meniscus skiing, he was told that surgery was the only fix. But surgery meant giving up his hobbies, so we went to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. They specialize in non-invasive treatments that get you back to fighting shape. My dad got a platelet-rich plasma, or PRP, injection. It took a fraction of the time to heal, and now he's back to doing what he loves.
Relieve pain
and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Cranking along on a Tuesday after a long holiday weekend. Hopefully everybody is back, busy, and making it happen, Captain. That's what you want to do, especially a Tuesday that feels like a Monday. You got to get it done. All right, so let's get it done in the form of the OTAs and then to some SEC spring meetings, okay? So this seg's kind of like a little bit of alphabet soup, OTAs and SEC. So OTAs, what are you thinking we're going to see? You, me, Coach Gerald Ingram, who will be with us later, we're all heading out to practice.
What I'm hoping to see is like a little bit more than what I saw with the rookie camp. You got the veterans coming back. They're going to be, intertwined with the rookies. I just want to see a lot of energy, guys involved, hustling back and forth, seeing how well conditioned they are. You got to think we're a year ahead now. For this time last year, new system, new scheme, all that kind of stuff. Guys were kind of learning, but now we've got a year under our belt. You want to see a little bit more efficiency with the offense, with the defense, how do they understand the parameters behind both of them. And you want to see how these rookies can kind of, in the ecosystem, how are they going to coexist, within the ecosystem? How fast are they going to come along? Well, what they have to learn on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, it's funny because we can take a look right now, heading into the season, and I'm sure this time last year we can do this exercise again. We probably have done it to a degree already coming out of the draft. Is that there were positions that were up for grabs last year. Walker Little was trying to step into that left tackle spot and show, hey, I'm the dude. We all know that did not go as well as he wanted or they wanted it to. You had Robert Hainsey stepping in as a brand new center. You had Pat McCary coming in as a guard. You can go down the line with all the newness that was on this football team a season ago.
Even Ezra Cleveland was on shaky ground.
Yeah, you didn't know that he was going to have a decent year like he had.
Didn't he get extension right before all of that
He got his extension, let's just say.
I think it was a 3-year extension.
Walker Little got it towards the end of this 25 season.
Gotcha.
And I think Ezra already had his in place.
Yeah, okay. All right. But the whole line was like, we thought that position by position was kind of up for grabs. Wanted to see if any rookies could come in. Wanted to see if Anton Harrison could, come back off of a shaky year or whatever, all that kind of stuff. So it was a lot of question marks.
Oh, you better believe it. And so when you look at the depth chart right now, and I'm just looking at it, just going over in my mind what was, what wasn't a season ago, and we just mentioned a handful of those offensive line positions that were up for grabs. And then you had the other guys. You didn't know exactly what Travis Hunter was going to look like. How much was he going to practice on both sides of the ball? Huge unknown there. Bringing in the other guys like De'Ami Brown. And then you go to the defensive side of the ball, pretty much the exact same starting four that was there before. Just that Eric Armstead said, I'm going to play inside instead of come off the edge. And that seemed to work a little bit better.
Yeah. His premonition, it worked off a little better for him.
And then after that, you still had other dudes that were in place. But at that point, Devin Lloyd, you didn't know what type of season he was going to have. Foye was coming back being the leader that he was at that Mike position. But other guys were trying to prove themselves.
Guess what? You know what? This time last year, the star was BTJ.
Yeah.
Just come off a Pro Bowl season, over 1,000 yards. So we thought that the one defining guy on the team that we didn't have to worry about was him.
Yeah.
Now there's hope. They're hoping that they can get that same version of him back in place.
That is a little crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, when you think about that type of situation, he was destined for stardom. He was the guy that was a shooting rocket. Finally, this team got a good first-round draft pick type of discussion that we were talking about. Giving Balky credit for getting that guy. And the other half of that is that Brenton Strange had come on towards the end of the year before because Evan Ingram had been hurt, and you saw a little bit of Brenton Strange, and you were wondering and hoping what you were going to get. Obviously, he became the focal point at the tight end position. He was able to do work. We didn't know what Parker Washington was going to be at this point a year ago.
Nah, we didn't. We saw glimpses of it.
Yeah.
And Brendan Strange proved me wrong because I thought getting rid of Evan Ingram was a mistake. But he ultimately had a fantastic year last year.
Yeah, and it's funny because I compare what the offense was under Doug and what he wanted to do with the tight end versus what Liam ultimately wants to do with more than one tight end. We're going to see how that actually all shakes out. But if you look at Strange's numbers, they ain't that much different between 25 and 26 season, or excuse me, 24 and 25 season stats. Not that much different.
I think that where he elevates in my position is the blocking, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, the blocking was just outstanding. Those down blocks that he on linebackers, the DNs, and all that kind of stuff. Strong Stacy's coming down to him. Oh man, that's what put him over the top for me. Now I know his numbers are pretty much the same from a year ago or the previous year, but our run game was efficient because of his blocking.
And so now you ask the question, and I'm going to talk to Brenton Strange later on after practice today. We'll have that interview tomorrow. But one of the questions that is pretty obvious, like, you look like a complete tight end that can do the inline blocking that you're describing, Big Sirs. How much more can you be to this football team? And if you have those other cats that are involved, how much more can the tight end position be for this football team?
Yeah. Well, I mean, how do you think he reacted to them that drafted 2 tight ends? I mean, are they using that as leverage, knowing he's got the contract year going on? Or are they using that as help to give him rotational? I mean, I don't have a problem when you lighting a little fire underneath him going to the last year of his contract, because if you're a tight end and they draft 2 tight ends, I mean, you're not celebratory. Let me just tell you that.
Yeah, no, that's 100%. You're like, wait a minute. I'm thinking my contract is coming, and they decide to use 2 of their first half dozen picks, particularly the first pick of the draft for the Jaguars, and it was a tight end, Nate Borkshire. And so, yeah, it's got to make you wonder just a little bit. It's kind of like, I don't know if it's exactly like Freddie T sitting back and seeing him select Mojo D in the second round. Kind of like that, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Fred's a great teammate, but Fred's like, what you doing? What's going on here?
Yeah, in the second round.
In the second round?
Yeah. Now, Brenton Strange isn't nearly as far along in his career as Freddie T was at that point. We're talking a 1998 draft pick watching the Jags make a move in 2006. So totally different.
Yeah.
But at the same time, back to your point, whenever they're drafting your position, you're going to take notice.
Of course. Yeah.
And so we're going to see what it looks like with 1 tight end, 2 tight ends, 3 tight ends, whether it's 12 or 13 personnel, however they decide to line things up. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Guys that we had at the end of the season, no Dewey. This will be the first time since 2019 that you will go out and not see number 42, Dewey Wingard. And he was busting his hump back then, trying to make the roster. And he did. And he stuck here for a while and signed a pretty good contract. I want to say at one point made him the highest special teams player out there.
Yeah. That was Hacker's man from day one.
Oh, yeah. He loved him. He loved Dewey.
He did. He loved Dewey.
Yeah. And so he picked him out. And you got to give him credit.
Yeah, I got to give him credit. He picked him out. I was there. I was there when he picked him out. I was like, okay. All right, let's see how far he goes.
He says, Big Sirs, I like 42.
Yeah.
A lot. And so, no Dewey.
No Dewey.
No Newsome. No DeJuan Smoot. All these guys, none of them were like over the top great, but those are the guys that were here a season ago, and they were battling for playing time. No Austin Johnson. You can go down the line with the other guys that aren't here. Mason Smith is no longer a question mark. Now you're going to find out whether the new guy that they bring in, if he can come in and do things. Coach Campos said a little bit on our podcast the other day, Serge, that he at least watched a little bit of and says he feels like from a strength point of view, he might be a better player at that 3 technique for what this team wants to do defensively. Even though
a lot
he
more
was
active.
Even
active
though
hands
and strong.
Okay, all right.
And he was a bust up in Atlanta. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, he was. He was.
I think one guy was
well, our guy was a bust.
Yeah. I think this one was a 48th pick overall. That was either 36 or
I think he was like 8 picks in front of him.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And so, you got both guys that have the change of scenery that are now going to try and prove that wherever they are, that this new team that bet on them, they're going to get a new version of them.
Yeah, this might be their last hurrah, to be quite honest with you. When you're taking that high and the team moves from you, I mean, they might get another one. They could be a camp body year after year after year after possible.
Yeah.
But this is their last stop, bro.
Yeah. Those are high draft picks. When you're drafted in the top 50 of the National Football League, there's expectations that come along with that.
Absolutely.
And they want to see something out of those dudes. And honestly, when Mason Smith, so big, he had to have 2 A's in his name. When he was a freshman at LSU, I'm like, whoa, this guy's good. And then he never, ever really
recovered from that.
No, he had a bad knee injury, but never either motivation, drive, whatever. I don't know what it was. I don't think it was the injury when it was all said and done, because he was 4 years removed from an injury this past season.
Well, see, I don't want to pile on the kid, all right? But that says a lot about you when you get injured and how you come back from it. You know what I'm saying? When I got injured and I tore my quadricep tendon, I made damn sure that when I came back to whatever team, I was going to be the best shape of my life. Now, unfortunately, I tore my tricep after trying to come
one
back.
to another.
And then when I tore my tricep, when I went to the Dolphins, I was like, okay, I'm going to make sure I'm in shape. So when the season starts, so I tell them, I'm just saying that it says a lot about you when you get injured in the times of adversity and how you handle stuff.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate. Yeah, and I wish him the best. I do. I wish him the best.
I think I'll keep an eye on him and just see what he ultimately becomes, because there's just no way that with that pride you're talking about, that you should go into another situation and not say, hey, I got something to prove.
Yeah. You should be inspired. The team that drafted you let you go.
Yeah.
Because you were too big and not mobile. No, I mean that should, man. He should come in. I don't know what he's going to weigh in at camp in Atlanta. He should come in like 30 pounds lighter, and just be a dog and make Jacksonville hate that they ever moved him.
Yeah, and that
I mean that's just me.
Sure, wherever you get your fuel from,
yes,
that's your motivation.
Yes,
and you want to prove people wrong, which is ultimately what either one of these guys as a player can do to their former team. So we'll see what it looks like, but we'll at least be able to check out what a row looks like here, and what that, not like they're going to show us too much as far as rotation or anything goes, because we're just talking about shorts and helmets, but at the same time, you're going to get a look at it.
Yeah. It'll be a nice, going out there, it'd be nice, seeing the majority of the team operating as one.
All right, SEC spring meetings. As we talked about really ad nauseum through the last handful of weeks, and Matt covering it with his work at USA Today Sports, just talking a whole bunch about it's basically, if you're looking at Power 4 conferences, this is 3-on-1. This is an attack from 3 different angles against the SEC and Sankey to say, hey, we want 24 teams in our college football playoff. We're going to move from 12, I call it the triple-double of college sports. They have gone from 4, tripling it to 12, and now doubling that to 24 if they get their way, which is basically, it's insane what they're talking about doing. But Sankey has not put his foot down to the point where he said it's either 12 or 16 or we aren't doing anything, but they're already mapping out opportunities to break away. We've heard the phrase break away from the rest of college football, which is possible.
Yeah, it's possible, but here's the thing I have a problem with, Joe. Sankey is the commissioner of the SEC, right?
Yeah.
There's no player representation in any of this stuff that he's beating his chest on. I mean, because when you talk about more games, you talk about more opportunities for guys to get injured. I'm just saying that there's no player representation in any capacity, because the players, whether you like it or not, the players make up the university. They make the SEC elite. And they don't seem to have any representation, and nobody's speaking on their behalf when it comes to what we desire, what we want.
I'm
just saying it's very interesting.
Yeah.
And he speaks for everybody, but nobody.
Well, that goes for every single commissioner.
Yeah, not just him.
In every conference.
Well,
every player.
That's what I'm saying. No, I'm not just singling them out. I'm just talking about all these so-called commissioners.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll find out where it's going to go. But right now, this is Sankey's quote. I do not anticipate any decisions on the college football playoff.
That's at this meeting.
Yeah, just so we're clear.
He's like, at this meeting, at these SEC meetings, we're not going to come to any decision regarding the playoff.
Yeah. So he said, so we can tamp that down. So he's basically, don't think you're going to watch us walk out of here with some ratified decision that everyone's going to agree upon. This is the SEC meetings.
And remember, if nothing is agreed upon, and I'm not talking about at these meetings, just in general with the college football playoff, and if the Big Ten and the SEC are still at loggerheads, then it just stays at 12. That's all that happens. Nothing happens. It's just because it's going to continue to stay at 12
the vote,
indefinitely until they come to a decision to expand.
Yeah, the vote comes up in December, and if they don't
the deadline,
the deadline. You're right. The deadline. If they let that deadline pass, then as JJ just said, it just remains a dozen, and I have no problem with that.
Yeah,
I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm actually rooting for that right now.
2 6-packs is better than a keg, right? Just take the 2 6-packs and call it.
Well, they did ask Sankey, is he worried about like it watering down the regular season, college football with so many teams in the playoff? He said, it is concerning for me. I never thought football was a tournament sport. It's not an 8-week tournament sport.
Yeah, and they need to figure that part of it out. So let's just carry the conversation on into that, because they need to figure out their calendar, their clock, their schedule, how many meaningful games you must retain and maintain in your regular season for this thing not to be watered down as he just described it. We'll do that all coming up on XL Primetime. Big Sirs, Joe C. and JJ.
XL Primetime, driven by Big Number 1 Duval Ford, the #1 place to buy your next vehicle. Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios, polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, Prosser here, but here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit card, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long, drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Right now, Renewal by Andersen is giving you the power to choose. For a limited time, pick the offer that works best for you. Take 20% off your entire window and door project, or enjoy 24 months of special financing. That's no money down, no payments, and no interest for 2 full years. Our energy-efficient windows and doors keep your home cooler in the Florida heat, reduce drafts, and can help lower your energy bills. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
Hi, Frank Frangie here, inviting you to join my wife and me June 22nd of 2027 as we experience the food, wine, and culture of iconic Italy with Colette. Our journey takes us to historic cities and enchanting medieval towns. We'll enjoy a wonderful 7-night stay in the Montecatini Term A famous resort and spa town nestled in the heart of the rolling hills of Tuscany. Visit the cultural treasures of Florence, Pisa, and lovely Lucca. Along the way, we'll discover the food, wine, and old world charm, and even have a special chef-led cooking class. This and so much more. Colette handles the details, flights, hotels, meals, and the local experiences. Your only job is to have the time of your life. Don't miss joining my wife and me in Italy. Now, to learn more, visit 1010XL.com or call Colette at 800-581-8942.
Come away with me.
That's 1010XL.com or call Colette at 800-581-8942.
Yeah, I know how awful it is to get injured, but not like my friend Tom who got rear-ended last year. Tom McMahon is here. Morgan & Morgan can help you. They're the largest personal injury law firm in the nation. 1,000 lawyers, 100 offices across the nation, and over $30 billion recovered. And guess what? They don't get a single penny unless you do. A proven track record with backup. Hard to find these days, but not with Morgan & Morgan. For the people, that's right. Get injured due to someone's neglect, get paid. Dial Pound Law or check out forthepeople.com.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, thanks for fixing my air conditioner last week. It's way nicer at my place now.
Glad we could help. Good to know it was just a small repair.
I know. A new air conditioner can be pretty expensive.
I mean, they do keep your whole house nice. That's a lot of space to keep cool.
I know.
And they do it all summer long, even when the weather is totally Jacksonville temperature outside.
I know.
Luckily, if you ever do need a new AC, we can arrange a financing plan that'll make it easy for you to handle.
Wait, I didn't know that.
Here, put on these sunglasses.
Whoa. They can show banking information? Cool glasses.
Short term, long term, low interest, 0 down payment. There's all kinds of options for bigger projects or even repairs as low as $500.
I wish I had these math sunglasses in high school.
You and me both, pal.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
I think one of the things that's changed is there are a lot more people putting economic heft behind teams, expecting an outcome. That's not driven by court decisions per se, or settlements, or the CSC, or the format size. There's just higher expectations because there's more people touching our teams directly. I've never thought football's a tournament sport, and I'm not the greatest football mind out there. You can read social media, people communicate about that, but football's not an 8-week tournament sport.
We know what cool sounds like. XL Primetime. But what does it feel like? Find out at FloridaHomeAC.com. 1010XL.
So that last part of what Greg Sankey just said at the SEC spring meetings over in Destin is that he never visualized college football as a tournament sport. And you went from a vote to decide a champion. Then you went to a BCS, and you can go back to the Bowl Alliance, however far you want to go back. But it was 2 teams that were playing for a title, still based on a vote. Then you went to 4 teams, and you're like, okay, this looks a little bit better because at the very least it's, quote, settled on the field. Still had a vote to become one of those 4, but you had it, and now he's talking about the length of time they will play and the tournament that they will create if they go to 24 teams. And I agree 100%. It sucks.
Yeah, that's too long. 24 teams is absolutely absurd to me. I mean, it is a tournament sport, to be quite honest with you. It was a time and day where it was single elimination. You lose a game or 2, you out.
Yeah.
Basically the tournament. Then they had the BCS where they came in and computers decided who was going to play this, that, and where. That was whack because bit us in the rear a couple of times. But then you got to 4, and 4 was cool. But then teams got in, shouldn't have got in, got out, shouldn't have got out, that kind of stuff. That's debatable. But 12 is, I think 12 is it. 12 is it for me.
I think they want to accomplish a handful of things. First off, it's like this should be scrolling across the bottom of our YouTube stream. It's all about the money, okay?
The bread.
We shouldn't have to qualify everything with that, but it is all about the money. And so the interesting thing and what Sankey is saying is that the NIL era is here, and it's changed a lot of things simply by the thrust of cash, the explosion of riches that these not kids but players are now getting and deserve. It has now brought the boosters to the chairman of the board table where they feel like they've got a voting seat. Okay.
There's also more people giving than there ever has been.
Yes. And then ultimately, if you keep expanding the playoffs, coaches, and I'll give you one of the tweets from Brett McMurphy coming up here in a second, coaches are always going to invite more opportunities to, quote, make the playoffs because it'll help them save their job. But in the end, like you just described, the regular season is truly a tournament. It
is. It used to be a single elimination.
Yeah.
If you had more than one loss, more than likely you weren't playing for a
If
title.
you had one loss, you had to get a lot of help.
You had to get a lot of help. Absolutely.
Lose early, that type of stuff.
Yes.
But yeah, and so that you could even say, hey, this is a plausible way you're looking at the regular season. This is the tournament. This is how it begins. But now, if you have this many schools that are going to say, hey, we made it to the postseason 4 years running. Does that mean anything?
No.
Exactly.
If you have 24 teams that are out there?
No, but you know these coaches, if they do extend it to 24, these coaches contractually, you say, how you going to fire me? I've been in the tournament.
Oh, they'll say that, but
Absolutely.
then we'll say, and the people paying them and firing them will say, well, everyone gets to the playoffs, which is an unintended consequence that they're not thinking about. Which is when everyone makes the playoffs, nobody makes the playoffs. It means nothing when almost every team gets in.
Yes, it should be sacred ground.
Yeah, if you
and by every, I'm saying the ones that matter. We all know that going into a college football season, there's only a handful of teams that can really win the national title. That's how this sport always has been.
But if you're a 64 team tournament and you say we made the tournament, it doesn't mean a hell of a lot.
Listen,
we made the Sweet 16. Yeah, okay, not bad. We made the Final Four. Hell yeah. But no.
Yeah, there's no Cinderellas at the ball when it comes to college football. You can't call Indiana Cinderella because they made the tournament last year.
Yeah.
Right.
So
they
came off a 10 points,
exactly.
10-win season.
Yeah. And so this is where we are. And I don't know exactly how far we will go from where we are right now by the time we get to December. If we miss that deadline and they just keep it the way it is, hopefully smarter heads will prevail and they'll end up doing something like that. But the cost of expanding to 24 teams is something else that Sankey has brought up. And it's true because it comes down, I've been maintaining this forever, it comes down to television. Television will tell you what they think the public wants by buying the opportunity to broadcast whatever it is you're doing. That's basically what they do.
And speaking of television, this is what he's brought up this week, yesterday, because everyone's like, oh, well, when we go to 24, we'll just get rid of these, stupid championship games that nobody cares about. Well, he's like, we have a contract, a TV contract,
and it's a
with
money
the
maker.
SEC title game. We're not moving off of that.
And it's a big money maker.
Yeah.
And I think Matt said it the other day. It makes just buku millions.
Over more than the Big Ten's championship. Like, no one cares about those championships.
Yeah, comparatively speaking, no one has been able to ring the bell on Championship Saturday the way the SEC has.
Yeah, so it's easy for the Big Ten and the ACC and the Big 12 to be like, yeah, we'll get rid of our championship. Yeah, ACC, you had Duke versus Virginia in it last year.
And the reason
it means nothing.
Yeah, the reason why they will trash that in a heartbeat is because now they'll have a chance of getting 4 teams in the playoff instead of their actual champion being left out of the playoff.
Which we just saw.
Thank you, Virginia.
Which is just unbelievable.
No, thank you, Duke.
Yeah.
Well, Duke. Yeah, well, thank you, Duke. Because Virginia would have got in front of
probably.
Miami. Yeah.
Which I don't know. I still call BS on that. Everyone liked to say that Duke got us into the playoffs, us as in Miami, but I still think if it was an ACC champion Virginia with 2 losses or whatever it was versus Miami, they still would have put Miami in.
I don't know.
Style points.
Yeah.
I don't know either. We'll never know.
But listen,
I
feel
feel like,
favor.
And I'll never forget. I want to say Josh Pate was the first guy to say it, and obviously I immediately locked in on him. Like, this potential is there. It's real that you could get an ACC team in without a champion and leave the champion out. And I believe he was the first one to say it. But anyway,
because we all assumed the rule was they would get in.
Yeah.
And then it was like the worst 2 champions from the other conferences wouldn't get in. But it's like, no, actually, there is no stipulation that says it has to be those Power 4 conferences.
The highest rated champions of those conferences. And that's where it came from. And that's what basically gave them the out clause.
It took us like 8 weeks into the season to realize that.
Yeah, to kick Diaz and Duke to the curb.
Like, we could not have the ACC team in there.
Yeah, unthinkable. Yeah, unthinkable. And we all have argued about, take a look at the schedule with either the Dukes or Tulane or whomever. But yeah, that's the way the committee decided to roll that one out. All right, we'll keep it rolling. You guys hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosure, 641-1010. You probably are a little tired of talking about the playoff field size, but it is real in the college football world. So we'll definitely stay on top of it, especially with the SEC spring meetings. We got Gerald Ingram, one of our coaches, coming in at the top of the hour. So we'll talk some Jaguar football with him, and he'll be heading out with me and Big Sirs out to the OTAs.
XL Primetime from the big #1 Duval Ford Studios. The Lead is your path to the weekend.
Jags beat reporter Hayes Carline and NFL columnist Ryan O'Halloran.
Fridays from 4 to 6 on 1010XL.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Storms are part of every season. Make sure you're protected. Call American Electrical to make sure you have the best in surge protection. Don't lose your home electronics to a lightning strike. Call 737-7770 for American Electrical.
Hey, it's Carline here for Atlantic Infinity, and yes, I'm still loving my new QX60. Right now, you can lease one or lock in just 1.9% financing for 60 months, and every new Infinity comes with the Atlantic Infinity Promise. That's over $7,000 in added value. That's one of many reasons why I bought mine there. No pressure, no games, just a great experience. Make your next ride an Infinity from Atlantic Infinity. Visit AtlanticInfinity.com or the showroom near Atlantic and St. John's Bluff.
Joe C here. I tried playing handyman with my sprinklers and French drain, and royally failed. So I called Clearwater Irrigation and Drainage, and John Haney came out personally, just like he'll do for you.
You know it. And for a limited time, my good buddy Joe C's coming too.
Huh?
Ain't that right, Joe?
I gotta go to the game.
Joe? Go!
Clearwater Irrigation.
At least do this part.
And drainage too.
ClearwaterJacks.com.
I just found out that Kuhn Flowers makes over 100 floral deliveries every single day. Hacker here, and when I need to send florals or a really cool gift, I head for Kuhn Flowers. They've been doing it for over 75 years. KuhnFlowers.com.
Hi, this is Dr. George Bari, an orthopedic surgeon who is fellowship trained in sports medicine. If you are a young athlete or a weekend warrior, I treat you with the care and expertise that is needed to diagnose and treat your injury. Come see me at Bari Orthopedics to get the care that you need.
Be sure and check out the expertise from Dr. George Bari and the entire staff at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com. And follow Doc on Instagram at Dr.GeorgeBari.
Frank Frangie here with Coach Delaney from Coil Fencing. For years, your offenses have been putting up a lot of yards and points at Fletcher. I hear Coil also gains a lot of yards in the fence world.
Yes, Frank. Coil Fencing has been serving the Jacksonville community and general contractors for 99 years. We fence tens of thousands of commercial and residential yards, all while maintaining an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau.
99 years?
That's right. Some might call it a dynasty.
To schedule your appointment, visit CoilJacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com.
The experts at AMCO have been fixing cars for almost 60 years. Over that time, they've gotten more complex than ever. That's why our techs undergo rigorous training and certifications, so they can fix anything, including the most complicated repairs that come with some of the latest technologies. After 60 years, there's nothing we haven't seen or fixed. It's how we know cars inside and out.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at AMCOJacksonville.com.
What defines a hero? Dedication, loyalty, courage. Every day at AMCO, we serve heroes. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. From complex transmissions to simple brake jobs with flexible financing and the extra safety precautions we need. The heroes we serve don't all wear uniforms. They're people like you. At AMCO, we're proud to serve all of you. AA MCO.
Family owned and operated in Jacksonville, Orange Park, St. Augustine, and St. Mary's, Georgia.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Couple of more thoughts from Greg Sankey, the SEC commissioner, before we hit the top of the hour. We'll talk Jaguar football with Gerald Ingram, a former running backs coach here in Duval for a number of years with TC. Both him and Coughlin went up to New York, and they promptly won a couple Super Bowls after their run here. Pretty good.
Pretty great.
Yeah, pretty great.
Yeah. You beat Tom Brady twice. That's pretty special.
Yeah, you've done something. That's for sure. All right, now, are they going to do anything in the college football world? We've been talking about it. And the idea of all these different numbers that have been thrown around. Sankey still putting it out there that all these different ideas have been basically thrown out as trial balloons and trying to get everyday America college football fan be the focus group as to whether you like it or not. Well, here's one of his quotes. I've never said, even last year, that we're opposed to some number other than 14. I've told my colleagues that. I'm not an opponent of 24 or 28. We have to inform the decision making. I think we did a good job informing our position last year on 16. We'll consider other ideas certainly this week and moving forward. So he is not going to move off of that idea that that's the max number for him, which is 16.
Yeah. Good for him. who doesn't play football to determine how many games they're going to play.
So if you had, let's make this the 10-10 take in an instant, because this is what it boils down to.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take, serviced by Valvoline Instant Oil Changes. Oil changes in 15 minutes or less, guaranteed.
They can do it in an instant. Let's do this in an instant. And Big Sirs is mentioning the idea of the player being involved. And if you look at the idea of 130-some teams that right now play FCS or FBS football, they're all going to get their dozen. They're going to be guaranteed a dozen games. You're going to get your NIL money. You're going to get your rev share, all that type of stuff. Then after that is what you're referring to. After that, then you think the players should have a say. I don't know whether they should, could, or would, but I do know that they want to play for titles. I look at you every single day and hear great stories about the opportunity to play for a title. Make the title mean something, so when these guys get to hoist the trophy, they know they've done something. That's the 10-10 take.
Yeah, I mean, the title is absolutely important. You know, winning the national title is something that you always cherish. And remember, all I'm saying is when it comes to even the NFL, remember the issue with the NFL was from 16 to 17 games. Remember that? And they said the players like, we don't need 2 preseason games. That was all negotiable. That was all collectively.
Yes.
The players said, we want more money if we're going to add another game. And the owner said, no problem.
Sensible.
We'll give you more money. We'll take away 2 preseason games because of so that's all I'm saying. I just don't like people representing players who've got to play the games longer.
Right.
The more games you play, the more opportunity you have to get injured, hurt, and stuff like that. That's all I'm saying. If you want more games, I just think that the players collectively who make these universities should have some say-so in what they do moving forward. Instead of a representative say, hey, yeah, we'll add 4 games, 5 games here, whatever. You know, it's the playoffs, and the players have no say.
And I like the idea of what you're describing, collectively bargaining as professionals.
Because they are.
Yeah.
They are.
But this thing is just so wonky and sideways right now.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know whether they're ever going to even take a step in that direction with the collective bargaining, or they're just going to figure out a way to keep paying them until everyone seems to be happy.
You can't have it both ways, though, Joe.
I know.
You can't have it both ways.
Well, I feel like they had it their way for a long, long time. There's no debating that at all.
Yeah.
But the other part of it is I always felt like there was something to be gained. College education, all the stuff that we thought was, it sounds Pollyanna now, but that it was a big deal. You getting your education made your mother and father about as happy as you could as they could possibly be.
True, facts.
Right?
Haven't used it once.
Facts.
Haven't used it yet once. Sociology, minoring in education. It did.
Yeah, it made you. That was the whole idea.
You're right.
And then the other part of it is that you had the proving ground every single Saturday, quite often on television, that made you an All-America. It made you one of the best players in the game. And so that's marketing 101. People got to see you. Scouts got to come and watch you. The product was there, and it turns you into a highly drafted NFL player. That's all valuable.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Absolutely.
And now you stack on top of that money, which is deserved. I'm okay with it. But at some point, you got to figure out where
you want guardrails. That's what you want. You want some kind of guardrails.
Where are the limits?
Well, speaking of limits, Mike Elko just spoke. He said, this is on the college football expansion talk. What does Mike Elko want? Speaking in the third person. He wants 40. Then I won't get fired. It's okay to make it hard to get to the playoff. None of us are answering for the good of the sport. We're answering for the good of ourselves.
Okay.
So it's about time that someone was honest about this.
Amen. And you know how I've been a member of the Fighting Elko Club. You might be part of the Fighting Elko Club now, because that, honestly, is one of the brighter things a head coach can say about this college football play. He wants to keep his job. Of course he does. But he's speaking as if he were a college football fan. At least that's what it sounds like.
Yeah. Well, he's saying that, like we have been saying, these coaches are only saying this because they want to stick up for themselves, not for the good of the sport. I'm glad he's finally admitting that. But what he didn't include in that comment, and what I don't hear a lot of people say, is what we just brought up. If you do have a 40-team playoff, you think that's going to save coaches' jobs? What are you, insane?
No.
Like, you don't know anything.
No.
40, it means teams that are in the playoffs will be firing their coaches every single year. We're going to have plenty of coaches in the playoffs fired if we go to 24. And then 40 would be even more insane. It means nothing if you get it.
It changes nothing. And so this just kind of wrapped this part of it up. and this speaks volumes about head coaches. Basically, preserving your own behind is the most important thing any of us do on a daily basis. And it's very true in the head coaching.
It is,
world.
but they don't realize it's not saving their behind.
Yeah, exactly. They just think, hey,
it's the playoff.
If there's more opportunity, there's a better chance I will get there. And heck, Clark Lee is living proof that Vanderbilt has returned to football conversations like you would never, ever could have imagined. And he's done something that no one expected. Kurt Signetti obviously has done something that no one expected up at Indiana. But these other guys, the hangers on, it's like everyone chanting the SEC, like as if all of them won something. No, they didn't. All right, so here's Brett McMurphy. 9 of 14 SEC athletic directors that responded to their On3 poll want more than a 16-team college football
And I
playoff.
put them in the same boat as the
They're
coaches.
exact same spot.
Exactly. They think the same thing. If we get into the playoffs, my job is secure.
If Scott Strickland gets to say, hey, I hired a playoff performing coach, it makes him look better.
Mm-hmm.
And it really, truly, in the grand scheme of
waters
things,
it down. More teams waters it down. Everybody knows that. I mean, Elko said it best. This playoffs should be hallowed ground. To get there should be sacred and special. Not everybody. I mean, it's not in a field trip.
No,
everybody can't go. You know what I'm saying? They acted like the playoffs is supposed to be a field trip.
Yeah, listen to this. So this is all these quotes are coming out from the SEC meetings today. So this is Sark earlier. This is from like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Part of the problem is everyone is chasing one end goal. We live in an era that's playoff or bust. I feel for the people. Only 12 teams get in. That's disappointment for a majority of the fan bases. Yeah, it's called sports.
Yeah, exactly.
Guess what?
Yeah.
Only one team wins. Everyone else is pissed.
Yeah.
That's how it always is, Sark.
Yeah.
Like, this is so pathetic, man.
Yeah, I've said it forever. Yeah. If hey, without losers, there are no winners. You've got to beat somebody, and somebody gets to go home.
Yeah, somebody got to go home and cry. Somebody got to go home and cry.
It is XL Primetime.
XL Primetime is driven by Duval Ford, where Jaguars fans find common ground. Duval! 1010XL. 10XL.
Looking for your locally raised beef for your family? Houston's Meat Company proudly carries North Florida cattle raised right here in our community. From fresh ground beef to hand-cut steaks and roasts, every cut is USDA choice or higher. Locally raised from birth to harvest with no added hormones or antibiotics. It's quality you can taste and local sourcing you can feel good about. For more than 50 years, Jacksonville's families have trusted Houston's Meat Company for quality meats at great prices. Houston's Meat Company, Main Street at 295.
David Garrard here. Playing in the NFL can put a lot of wear and tear on your body, especially your knees. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has kept me mobile and ready to tackle every day.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
This is former NFL quarterback David Garrard. If your knees have taken a beating and you're finally ready to do something about it, then let Southeast Orthopedic take a look. Come on, do your knees a favor.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Get hit by the man in the back, Tommy Mack.
I'm bringing you straight to the gridiron to show you what it's like to put on the Jags helmet and pads.
Fridays on Jaguars Today. Unlocked by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a data analyst.
Hey, what model did you use for these quarterly projections?
Astrology. If Mercury's in retrograde, sales tank. If Venus is rising, we crush Q4.
You built our revenue forecast off horoscopes?
Yeah, the Zodiac never lies.
This is a job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call now for your free evaluation and see if multi-unit hair grafting or PRP can restore your hair. Call 904-777-IHRS.
My bald spots are gone. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS is the only clinic in the Southeast to offer all proven solutions to restore your hair and is now offering multi-unit hair grafting. One procedure, more hair.
You've got nothing to lose but more hair. I feel younger, I look younger, and who doesn't want to feel better about themselves?
This year, grow your hair back. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-4477.
Hey gang, Prosser here. Have you been thinking about selling your home and you haven't pulled the trigger? Let me tell you about Chad and Sandy and the experts that will help you make that decision. Mortgage rates have dropped. They're expected to move lower. Home sales momentum is building, so now's the time to get your home ready to maximize your sales price. It's time to call Chad and Sandy, the proven experts to sell your home. Need to sell now, need to sell fast, need max price. Check, check, check. Chad and Sandy have the science behind it. Using their proprietary Market Max system, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Jonathan writes from Mount Pleasant. The only thing standing between me and my dream of hitting the road in my RV was selling my Mount Pleasant home. After hearing Chad and Sandy on the radio, I gave them a call. The results were unreal. In just 3 days, I had multiple offers at full asking price. So can you. Call the local experts I trust and recommend. Call Chad and Sandy, 414-6200 or ChadAndSandy.com.
Here's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. Voice of the Jags, Brian Sexton, commented on players attending OTAs.
There's no reason for players who are focused on winning as a team and a championship not being here for these, because that's what you get the most out of.
Jumbo Shrimp are on the road this evening to face Charlotte. Dax Fulton gets the start. First pitch is at 6:35. That's your 1010XL local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson.
It's 89 degrees at 102. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
1 o'clock hour is here. It's XL Primetime. Joe C., Big Leon Searcy, the Hurricane Hall of Famer that he is. JJ LaSalva. We're missing Matt Hayes today and tomorrow at the SEC spring meetings, but we've got a 2-ring wearing running backs coach in Gerald Ingram. Used to be here in Duval coaching under TC, and then we said it earlier, Coach. Then you just promptly went off to New York and won yourself a couple Super Bowls.
You know, that's what it's all about. The rings, I mean, that's what we fight for. I remember Dan Marino and going against Dan in his final game here. Yeah. And I asked Dan, because Dan and I had come out of high school together at the same time in Western Pennsylvania. And I said, Dan, why the hell are you still out here? He said, I'm still trying to chase the damn ring. It's so hard to get.
Ain't easy.
You don't realize how hard it is. I mean, we should have one here in Jacksonville.
Of course.
It's hard to get. And every year you look to the promise of having that opportunity to get, and here we are again.
Yeah. Old Dan thought when he got there once he was going to get back a bunch, and I'm sure you.
Yeah. When you're young, you go to the Super Bowl, because I went to the Super Bowl when I was 24 years old, right? Yeah, my last year with the Steelers. And as disappointing as it was, I was saying to myself, man, I'm young. I can get back there. Mm-hmm. It ain't easy.
It ain't easy.
Now, I had 3 other tries, because I came here. We was in championship game. Mm-hmm. You know, Pittsburgh, we lost the Super Bowl. And then in 99, we had the opportunity. So I'm 1-3 in championship games. Let me just say that.
Yeah. And we were so close to 1 year. You actually think you're going to have that opportunity again.
Yeah.
And Leon experienced it. And when you lose your bookend tackles and those kind of things, I mean, it's hard. People don't realize when you lose your great ends.
Yeah.
You know, your 2 bookends, you know, through injuries and things start happening, you can't, things just happen. They snowball, you know, and the elite players can't be elite without, you know, Tony and
Big
Leon
Bo went down, and who stepped in? Was it Ben Coleman?
Yeah, Ben Coleman.
Yeah.
They moved Ben.
Right.
to left tackle.
Yeah.
And Tilsky was next to him. And then Uyghur and I were on the right side. Yeah.
At least able to piece it together.
Yeah, we were able
Right,
to piece it together a little bit.
Piece of a little bit here together, but you kind of lose the chemistry, I think.
That I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that I believe. And especially when you're looking at what cost you, those injuries certainly can have a huge impact. That's for sure.
You get the inconsistency.
Yeah, yeah. All right, you got to tell everybody what you were up to when we missed you for a few weeks.
Oh, it's been a great off season. I got my hunting in. I was able to shoot some birds. Turkey season was in. You know, the call's better than the shot, but at least I got a chance to shoot. I went upstate New York, saw some people, saw some former players and coaches.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't shoot at anything, but we drank at something. So we had a good time. So, the good times, the eye candy and everything else, the laughs, the stories were great. Caught a lot of fish, and now I'm back here in Florida doing honeydews.
I love it. Yeah, you just got to make up for that big trip.
That's it.
All right, so you got OTA duty with us this afternoon. So let's talk a little bit about the Jags and like kind of rewind the tape a little bit for you. What do you think about what came out of the draft, the idea that this team is going to go more 12 personnel and 13 personnel? Now, you as a running backs coach who coached some good ones, you got to be pretty happy about that, right?
Well, I'm very excited about it because they're addressing an issue that they thought they were going to address a year ago. And we kept talking about we're going to have a run game. And, when it was time at certain times to do the run game, it didn't show. It showed early, and then we kind of faded away from it and the consistency of it. And I think we found out that the necessity of having a great run game makes a difference. We can dominate the clock. We can win the time of possession. There are a lot of things that happen within the run game that's going to help the team overall, offense, defense, and special teams. From that standpoint, it's going to make us more physical, more tougher. And I think we learned as a group how to make this team better in the end run. I mean, we were 13-4, and we had an opportunity to be right there knocking at the door. But I think if we would have taken advantage or been better at doing those type of things, the play action would have been better there for the quarterback. Play action inside the green area. I mean, the red area. We call it green area because Tom thought about it and said, hey, red area stop. That's for defense. For an offense, red area needs to be green area go. Let's score. We're here to score points. And this year, you're looking at, what are the team objectives? And the team objectives this year is, be more consistent in the run game, score more points. Okay, why do we have to go fourth down all the time to go score points? Let's score points within the normal realm of the game, okay? And let's be better at that. And let's control some situations, let's control some down and distance situation, be a better play caller in situations, make things a lot more simpler for the offensive line, the quarterback, and on defense, let's find a way to close out games. Okay, let's win the games that we should win, and let's win the games that people didn't expect us, which we did a year ago.
Now, Coach, that kind of offense, the 12 and 13 personnel, is that something that you probably need to start working on right now? Or is that something that you down the road, you just put it in your offense? Is it that complex or not?
No, it's not complex. It just depends on, the different things you do. I mean, we did it for years. We did it when you were here. You saw it with your offensive coordinator at Pittsburgh. I know when I was introduced to Tom at Boston College, and he brought a lot of that stuff with Bill Parcells and your former offensive coordinator back in the day at Pittsburgh. We utilized those type of personnel, not just to run, but also to pass. So I think we're going to, see some situations where you can run unbalanced. You can direct some runs. You can get some misalignment of your linebackers, your safeties in the hole. You can create some openings. You can run in some 8-man fronts.
Right.
There are, you can load the front and have an X receiver. You can load the front and have a Z receiver. So who's going to be on the field? Will it be Travis? Will it be, BT? Hey, do you want to load the box? You want to go one-on-one? Let's see if we can throw the deep ball. Okay, you want to go ahead and do those type of things? It just opens some things up. And when you get in some 12 personnel, I mean, when you know that you're going to get single high coverage, this being able to take advantage of the receivers on the outside making plays in one-on-one situations. You want us running the ball. You want to attack the box. Now let's see how we are one-on-one. And I think that's what's crucial about when we start camp. Who are the receivers going to be here that can win?
Yeah.
You know, when they start practice, who are the receivers that we know one guy right now. If he had to be on a one-on-one situation, he's going to win, and that's Parker Washington.
Yeah.
More than anybody right now. Other than if you put the other guy on the field, which is Travis. We've seen him in one-on-one, and his yak after yards is great. His one-on-one abilities and change direction, no matter if it's leaping or making a move, he's a different beast on the field. But he's in a different kind of situation right now. He needs, in my mind, in my opinion, he's got to play defense and play sound. I would not want to lose him
on that side
as an athlete. As an athlete. And Leon, you've been here before. Okay, am I right? When you start practicing and it gets real competitive out there, we're not even talking about going against other people. Defensive players have a knack at taking each other out on offense. They jump on the back of, their legs because they don't want to get beat in coverage. They don't want to get cut, because Tom used to get on players and say, hey, we're not tackling out here. But it's the defense's nature to do that. And they'll do that, and you hate to lose a guy in practice like a Travis Hunter. Now, is he going to wear a red jersey or not?
I don't even think we'll see him for now.
I wouldn't do it to take advantage. I want to get him to the field. I would rather have him on defense covering people, okay, and doing those kind of things and being aggressive on that side of the ball than having a dumb injury that happens on offense. Because we know what his ability is, and the other player in practice doesn't want to be humiliated by him. And then let it go as he goes.
Yeah. Now, Coach, I was going to ask you, as far as the 13 personnel goes, I mean, because it's strong side heavy, will you be able to run weak side with it as well?
Yes. You can run counters, you can run options, you can run speed option, you can run... There are a lot of different things. You can run misdirection to the backside. There are a lot of things. You can cut back to that side if they overload. When we used to do that, all of a sudden they load the linebackers up. And then if you flip, and when you flip a formation to create a front, sometimes you created a bubble in the backside that you can cut back to. And when you have a guy like Fred Taylor or Tootin, who has the vision to see front side to back side, you become more creative. You're not trying to do it all, but you're trying to find ways to create a whole.
All right, so let's keep that conversation going. You guys got some thoughts on it, because this team, when it's all said and done, Jimmy Gladstone's may have improved the running game without drafting a running back, and that would be big if it goes down that way. 641-1010, hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. We got Gerald Ingram, former running backs coach right here in Duval, hanging out with us.
XL Primetime, driven by Big Number 1 Duval Ford, elite service for elite companies.
I get it. You're here because you feel like something's missing. You got some longing for something more. We're gonna give you that thing.
1010XL, giving you something more.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
Instant Keys is turning 25, a quarter century of saving the day when your keys mysteriously vanish.
Seriously, it was just in my pocket.
Or when that remote fob decides to quit working.
The dealership is such a hassle.
For 25 years, Instant Keys has been the go-to locksmith service for car keys, house keys, transponders, re-keys, and even high-tech smart locks. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you for honest, professional locksmith service. Use Instant Keys.
He speaks softly and carries a suitcase full of stories.
The quarterback whisperer.
Get an inside look at football's greatest position with Denny Thompson. Friday mornings on The Drill. Tuned up by George Moore Chevrolet. on 1010XL.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
I just got another NBA offer from Hard Rock Bet.
A Hard Rock Bet promo at the Hard Rock Bet Party? That is so meta.
That's not meta. That's Meta World Peace. Meta. Tell them about Hard Rock Bet.
Hard Rock Bet has it all. Live odds for every NBA game, every player prop, same game parlays, you name it. It's the only place I play these days.
Okay, now that is meta.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Joe C. for Blossman Gas. They've been providing hometown service and the comforts of propane to home and businesses since 1951. Imagine movie night spent around glowing gas fireplace logs, cookouts in the backyard with your propane grill, or laundry done faster with your gas dryer. Blossman has a wide variety of gas appliances to fit your needs. Propane delivery, gas appliances, and a full-service team. Blossman Gas is your local company for everything propane. Blossman Gas, log on, blossmangas.com, and check out the Blossman difference.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Not everyone is built for a cubicle. At Local 234, apprentices get paid to learn hands-on skills like plumbing, pipe fitting, HVAC, the stuff Jacksonville runs on. No endless lectures, no massive student debt, just hands-on training, real jobs, and real pay. This is how you level up, by doing work that actually matters. Check them out at UA234.com. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Local 234. Make the right connection.
Hi, Frank Frangie here, inviting you to join my wife and me June 22nd of 2027 as we experience the food, wine, and culture of iconic Italy with Colette. Our journey takes us to historic cities and enchanting medieval towns. We'll enjoy a wonderful 7-night stay in the Montecatini Term A famous resort and spa town nestled in the heart of the rolling hills of Tuscany. Visit the cultural treasures of Florence, Pisa, and lovely Lucca. Along the way, we'll discover the food, wine, and old world charm, and even have a special chef-led cooking class. This and so much more. Colette handles the details, flights, hotels, meals, and the local experiences. Your only job is to have the time of your life. Don't miss joining my wife and me in Italy. Now, to learn more, visit 1010XL.com or call Colette at 800-581-8942.
Come away with me.
That's 1010XL.com or call Colette at 800-581-8942.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Coach Gerald Ingram, former running backs coach here in Jacksonville. He does both sides of the ball with he and me and Coach Mark Duffner. We always like having both Duff and Coach Ingram in talking ball. We know you Jaguar fans absolutely love it. Big Sirs played it. Coach Ingram played it. And you guys certainly know what this team's trying to build, what Liam Cohen's trying to manufacture with this run game. So let's just stay on that for another minute or two, Coach. If they have that 12 personnel, two things that struck me, and I'm looking at Leon reacting to what you're saying, Coach, they still will have a deep ball. The run game will be respected with 12 and maybe even 13 personnel, and there's still guys in the pattern that can go deep.
Yeah, I mean, I think what Liam's trying to do is create a better toolbox.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously when the draft came around, they looked at some things that they had, where can they be better at? Do we need to add this other dimension to help our quarterback be able to throw the ball down the field?
Right.
And how do we get those guys the ball as well as we need to run the ball and run the ball effective? And when you get in 12 personnel, you can direct the run into certain areas, or you can cut the ball back into certain areas because they're in a balanced look. Now you get to the point where now if it's always going to be a single high set in those situations, now you present yourself in one-on-one situations to be able to throw the ball on the outside, your curls, your hooks, your post routes, all those kind of things you can do on your route tree. Your play action becomes more effective. Your launch points, your play action pass protections, and you change the launch points for your offensive linemen. So you also become, a little more offensive line friendly.
All right.
In situations by changing the launch points for these pass rushers that, one, a lot of these guys don't play the run real well. Okay. But if you sit there and just let them tee off, that's your fault. Okay. You just gave them more money is what you did. They want you to just line up and drop back and see if I can win on one-on-one situations. That's what they want to do. But by play actioning and counter pass, Leon, you remember some of the counter pass?
Yeah.
You knew when you had help, when you're not, you can fire off, you can come off the ball, you run it situations, they're three-step drop mentality, run play action ideas that are offensive lineman, quarterback-friendly plays.
Okay, yeah.
So you're adding another dimension that hopefully enhances your offense. And take advantage, take a look at what happened to New England and Denver. You knew it was going to be a cold game. And you knew in the second half you're going to have to run the ball.
Yeah.
But Denver wasn't prepared. New England was better prepared in the second half. It wasn't about scoring points then. It was trying to win the game and slow the clock down, okay, and run the ball and play great defense. That's what it's all about because, you got outsmarted by somebody and, who understood what was going to happen in the game. You want to have that in your toolbox. There are a lot of things in the 12 and 13 personnel you can do. We said it during the year. You got to be able to have some boss plays. When Leon was at Pittsburgh, boss was a normal every day. I don't care what they lined up in. They're going to run boss back on strong safety, and it's an 8-man front run that checks you out of nothing.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, toss 38 balls. Yeah, we had it. I absolutely love. Listen, I love playing in those type of schemes of offense because it allows the offensive line to be aggressive, be physical. The question is, Coach, do we have those kind of dogs that like to hunt? Do we have the dogs up front that can propel this 12 and 13 personnel to this fullest?
Well, I think we do, and obviously you saw it in the draft, but you had some guys that are already established here. We saw Strange, and he can be very physical. He can do those kind of things. There's certain things that Morris can do, but may not do as.
No, I'm talking about the offensive line, Coach.
Yeah, but the offensive line.
Do we have a line that can do that?
Well, I think they become what you challenge them to do. Okay. If you're just gonna say, "Oh yeah, we're just a duo and zone scheme team," duo and zone, I don't care how you call it. No matter if you're doubling down or doubling straight ahead, depending on how the defense lines up, duo turns into the same damn thing, zone. But sometimes you got to be able to run gap schemes. You got to run one gap, one back gap, two back gap. Powered load out of a loaded front with one back, and it's still power. You're pulling the backside guard, and you're gapping and sealing, and you're double teaming. Wing T people have been doing it for years. It's not that complicated. But what happens with coordinators, they say, well, I don't want to overload the run when I can't throw all my passes.
They get cute, what you're saying, Coach.
Yeah, see, you get cute.
They get cute.
Okay, yeah. But you can have 1,000 passes.
Yeah.
Okay, but depending on who the coordinator is, an offensive line coach, you can narrow it down and have the concepts there. And you can have the players in position. You're not going to try and throw the whole ball of wax, because you remember in college, your playbook was about an inch thick, and then you got to NFL, it became the Bible. So depending on who the coordinator is, but you can narrow it down that the concept is there, that you change up from week to week, and you may run more counter gap in one game. You may run zone more so in another game against a different opponent. You may line up in 12 personnel, maybe, a little more or a little bit less. And now you're a little more diverse in what you're doing, and they can't just say this is what you do. And then you also have, at the end of the day, you got a quarterback that's willing to run.
He's proven that the skill set is now starting to evolve, where he can take off, run. He can get good yards without risking injury. Everyone didn't want to see him run because he got blown up by the Houston linebacker the season before. He is learning how to use every bit of his arsenal. Same thing you're talking about with Liam's toolbox.
He's learning how to use, and Liam's making him a smarter quarterback. That, the thing that made Peyton Manning real good and Brady very good and Eli Manning, they're smart enough to get you in the best play.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't waste plays out there, because it's not the best play. This guy is now evolving and believing in the system that, hey, I'm going to check to this. But there's sometimes you got to put a restraint on those guys and say, there are no checks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys, we're going to line up. You know what we're going to run sometimes, and you may not know what we're going to run, but we're going to hit you in the mouth. We're going to beat you up.
Mm-hmm.
That is a tough team. That's a tough physical team. That's what we miss out of a lot of teams in the NFL that just say, we know what we're going to get. They know what we're going to run, and it doesn't matter. And when you have a running back like we had here with Fred and some other guys, it didn't matter. It was up to the running back to make a play. It was up to offensive line to get the job done with as much confidence that they had, that all they had to just tee off and go and man up. There's no excuses that, no. It was me, you, and him, and let's get it on. Got to do it sometimes.
Now, Coach, what you saying that, as far as Trevor goes, he's a year into the offense now. What are your legitimate expectations for him with the start of the season? I mean, you got to go through OTAs and minicamp and training camp, but I think Trevor's going to light the NFL on fire, sort of say. I think he's not going to miss a beat from how he played towards the end of the regular season. I think he's going to start the season that same way.
What I'd like to see out of Trevor this year is that the student becomes the teacher on the field. Last year, he was a student under Liam. This year, he's a contributing factor to Liam that he can legitimately have football ideas. And what was great about having Kurt Warner, we had Kurt Warner for a year.
Up in New York, yeah.
We had drafted Eli. And I used to sit there and talk to Kurt, and still do. And he would say he used to have a lot of input on the installation of plays. And he handled the third down offense. When you get to that level of knowledge and trust that, he's now becoming older. He now trusts other people. He's no longer trying to be the student. He's trying to be the extension of the head coach on the field. That's where I think at the end of the year, that's how we want to evaluate him. It's his contributions, that he's not just the student. He's the extension of Liam on the field that understands the defense, the coverage, the blitzes, that he elevates everybody on the field to make sure they do their job correctly, that the quarterback coordinator is out there at the same time. The head coach is out there on the field. When you listen to Tom Brady talk about his years of experience, he didn't care who was at Ohio State, who was at LSU, who was there. All he cared about who can do their job and the most consistent when I put him in that situation, because he had spent enough time with them.
That's what you're picturing.
Yeah, that's what I'm picturing. Absolutely. I just want to we saw it in the back end of Trevor evolving into an elite, quarterback, passer. I just want him to keep evolving. Like you said, I want him to be able to master the game, this offense to perfection.
If he gets to walk to the line of scrimmage like you guys are talking about and make the defense declare what they're doing.
Manipulate the defense,
and then he can get you in the best play call, like you described. That would be a massive leap forward.
And then if you're Liam, you're saying, my child has arrived. He's arrived. And I'm so happy for him because, my conversation with that guy is so little that he's telling me exactly what he sees in coverage. He's telling me the leverage points, the motion extensions, the timing of the plays, the protections. He'd rather have a base call where he knows it's coming from this side. He knows I don't need the back over here. I can use him over here. We'll make it a 5 down instead of this. Have a reason why you did it, son. Mm-hmm. It's just like the running back. I said, I have no problem, but if you're out there guessing, I got a problem.
Yeah, and this will be like the last part of Project 16, which is what I've been calling it. What Liam took 16 and just basically has turned him into this guy that can do everything that you want to run a football team.
Because
that's what it looks like.
Yeah, and then because we all saw Trevor as a young kid, he was playing off of his ability. Okay, now he's at the highest level. How do you want to be remembered, son? You want to be remembered that you're an elite quarterback. Okay. Now, I don't want to talk about the facts and figures of the amount of money you're being paid as an elite quarterback, because the players on the field, they don't care about how much money. They care that you were always thought of being an elite quarterback, and why didn't it happen? Why did it happen or didn't it happen?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you have a choice of your future here in Jacksonville and whatever may happen to you, of being regarded as an elite, knowledgeable, highest performing quarterback of your group.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. Money doesn't matter. If it gets to him to that point, he's arrived.
Yeah, he's in charge now of what people think of him. All right, you guys let us know what you think of that. 641-1010. Hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosure. We've got Gerald Ingram for a couple more segs before we are done. We got a giveaway right now, so let's hook up one of our XL Primetimers.
Yes, I got a family 4-pack to see the Jacksonville Sharks take on Fisher's Freight. That is Saturday at 7 p.m. at ViStar's Veteran Memorial Arena, or be caller number 4 right now. It's 641-1010, and I'll hook you up.
XL Primetime.
Driven by Duval Ford. For some people, waking up is the hardest part of the day.
It's 0600. What's the O stand for? Oh, it's early.
That's why Dan and Jeff energize your morning.
Oh, yes!
Like an energy drink without the crash. The Drill. Mornings on 1010XL.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking mumbo-jumbo. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices. I mean, nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from high heels to wagon wheels. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
Prosser here. When I'm doing home improvements, I like to deal with a local company, and I found one for windows and doors, Cash Building Material. They've been doing business in Jacksonville for 70 years, and with their experienced window and door specialists, you'll get no subcontractors, no runaround, just their own experienced crews who treat your house like it's theirs. Get a quote today. Thank me tomorrow. For windows and doors, search Cash Building Materials. Windows and doors done right.
Hey gang, Hicken here, and let's talk skin. It's May, which means the oven is on. It's also National Skin Cancer Awareness Month. Bottom line, take care of your skin. Protect it like your life depends on it because, well, it does. Use the sunscreen, wear the hat, put on the shirt. Keep yourself protected. To ensure your skin is in top-notch shape, you can always rely on my docs at Beaches Dermatology. Been going to them for years. And my skin thanks me for it. Book your appointment today at beachesdermatology.com.
Baseball is back. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball at the newly renovated ViStar Ballpark is your home for affordable family fun. Tickets start at just $5. Fireworks after every Friday home game and kids around the bases after Sunday games. Log on to jackshrimp.com for tickets and details. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, affordable family fun.
Hacker here for Awaken 180 Weight Loss. You know, the summer is here. In fact, I'm out on a little vacation right now with my family, and that's one of the great things about Awaken 180 Weight Loss. I'll talk about the coaching you get on Awaken 180. You know, some weight loss programs, what do, right? They just send you some shots. They say, all right, work it out. They send you an appetite suppressant, some sort of pill. All right, you're on your own. Not Awaken 180. You talk with your coach. Like my coach, Kate, every time I was on vacation, every time I had a family get together, we worked up up a plan. We worked up something for me to follow, and then I would get right back on the program when I returned from vacation. It's one of the great things about Awaken 180 weight loss, and it's why I lost over 100 pounds. It's the best weight loss program I was ever on. They know life happens, but they work with you, and it's great. Go to awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com, or call 844-346-1800. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, Prosser here, but here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit card, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
1010XL, presented by Farrah and Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farrah. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
All right, my golden moment is no taxation without representation. All right? Football is taxing on your mind, body, and spirit, all right? And you got people out in Destin and 500 a night hotel rooms trying to tell players that more games, more money, and not understanding that that's more opportunities to get hurt. These people are going to make decisions based upon how many games we play, how much money we can make. I just don't like it. I don't like the fact that there's no player representation at these gatherings,
right?
To have so the players can have a say so on whether it be money, whether it be games of some capacity.
Yeah, I would think that they might be rounding the corner to start adding something like that in before you know it. They may come up with some type of player representation. It ain't been that way, and it probably won't be for a while, but you never know. You never know. My golden moment is that at the very least, we are getting closer and closer to a December deadline that they need to have to vote on a 2014 playoff or whatever it is they decide to do. I hope they get closer and closer to it and don't do a damn thing. Just leave it as is. Miss the deadline and let's play a 12-team college football playoff.
Let it move on because player participation is, I mean, everybody gets a trophy now.
It's unreal.
Is that? I mean,
That's
I
what
was
they're
in Western PA
playing for.
in high school. It was on
Yeah.
a point system, and in the playoffs, you didn't get a chance.
Yeah.
When you're done, you're done. That
Right.
was it.
Simple as that.
It's done. But to sit there and then they're going to hire, they're going to fire whoever they want to fire. Okay, now if you want to fire a guy before he gets while he's in the playoffs, all right. Well, that just becomes a media frenzy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's root for the underdog. Get fired.
Yeah.
But that's still a low percentage. They're going to fire who would want. So you want to fire more coaches? They're still going to fire more coaches.
Yes. Hey, Coach was just firing somebody, and then a bolt of lightning came right down on 10-10 XL there for a second.
Love it.
But I get what you're saying because the 24th team, that guy could easily get canned when it's all said and done.
Absolutely. Listen,
An
these coaches
8-4
they want a blanket of security. It's not going to keep you from getting fired. I don't care how many games there are.
Yeah.
Yeah, go play because these coaches are trying to protect their own heinies. Hey, you fired me. I made the playoffs the last 2 years. Yeah, it's 24 teams. It's like a field trip, Coach.
Yeah.
It's like a field trip. Everybody
Well, he's just going to use it on his resume and say, "Hey, they fired me, but I had this record.
Yeah.
I got these extra games in."
A 3-time playoff head coach is basically something like that will land on the resume. All right, so just the rest of the players that you'll be looking at or excited to see today when we get out there for the OTAs, because we were talking about earlier, Coach Ingram, there was a lot of newness last year.
Yeah.
Now there's not nearly as much newness in the free agent world. You got one cat coming out and Chris Rodriguez, and then you've got this draft class. So there's definitely excitement, but now you're trying to polish something right now as opposed to build something.
Well, I mean, obviously the new toys, you're interested. I'd like to see how Chris fits in and what his body movement is, his change direction, his finish, those kind of things. I'd like to see how hungry Tootin is. You know, being a running back and, you know, coach, I always felt I'm tied in with the offensive line. So I want to look at the offensive line, see if they're doing anything new. They're not going to show an awful lot.
Right.
You know, I remember being in those type of situations. You don't want to show an awful lot, but you are gonna try and, you know, look at some things that you have been working on, and that'll work towards minicamp. Right now, they're just trying to come together.
Right.
The veterans will come in. Leon remembers that, you know, when the vets come in, they used to steal a rookie's playbook and have him get it paid for, you know, those kind of things. You know, the initiation process starts is what it is. So, you know, you get to know who the players are, see how they fit in athletically, you know, how do they size up, how are they in drills and those kind of things, you know, what, you know, type aptitude do they have, are they going to fit in? And that's why I think they were real careful about bringing in too many free agent players here, because now you gotta get players who've been at other teams, more players to buy in to what you're doing, you know, and figuring they're going to start fresh as much as they can. And they started off on a great note last year and say, hey, you know, we don't have to cross that bridge.
Right.
You know, this is what we have. This is what we're going to try and win with. And we'll work with an older vet and control that, because there's pluses and minuses by taking too many vets, because they've been at a lot of different places, done a lot of different. This is the way we want to do things here at Jacksonville, and we want to establish that and then go from there. So it's going to be interesting. Now, the tight end and who they drafted, they want to see how athletic he is, how well he can catch. How does he handle being with grown-ass men? Okay, because does he look pretty in shorts and this and that in his rookie camp? Now he's got to play with some older guys, the competition, look at each other. It's a start over for some guys, and some guys handle it well, some don't, you know, and it takes time. I remember when Fred came through and, you know, he had to learn more protections than he ever had, and then they wanted to say he's a bust. Well, he wasn't a bust athletically. He was trying to think too much. Until that settled, you know, they didn't trust him. You know, players are questioning, coaches are questioning, but, you know, you had to understand as a coach, I have to be in his corner,
right?
Because I know his development in the meeting room. I know why he's struggling through this and that, and it's going to happen. And if you put him in certain situations to succeed, it can happen. At some organizations, they put so much on the player that it ends up being a mental, they step over themselves mentally on and off the field. So that transfer is a lot harder. So it's a good time right now. And the setup of the OTAs and the way it is now, even though there isn't a lot of time, you're 2 hours, it's 6 hours mandatory, it's still enough time to bring the team together, you know, for the right reason, the right purpose.
Now, Coach, I was hazed as a first-round rookie. I never hazed any players that came in the locker room. No, I never stole it, man. But I want to ask you this question about Tootin, though.
Yeah.
Are you having a conversation with Tootin? Are you saying that, you know, does he knows the load is on him now? I mean, are you having those kind of conversations with him, or are you just letting
We've already had that conversation.
Okay, gotcha.
We had that conversation a long time ago. And every day that he slips back, it's my job as a running back coach to make sure he understands it and everybody else in that room understands that this is an opportunity. Okay? Nothing is given to you. This is an opportunity that it doesn't exist at a lot of places. And the people in that room, you know, because when ETN was there, when Tiki Barber was there, you know, all these other players that, you know, when there was someone there, now you're giving them the green light to show what you can do, because people have doubted you. People will doubt you through their whole career in the NFL. That's the NFL. The reason Frank Gore is who he is that he believes in him and didn't worry about anybody else. That's why Frank Gore has been longevity-wise consistent. He believes in himself, because your mind can play tricks on you and doubt you to do a lot of things. It makes young men who never played at Ohio State, Notre Dame, or anywhere else, Walter Payton, say, I can play with the best of them, and no one's going to tell me anything different.
Yeah. Yeah.
This
That's all. Yeah. That's software over hardware.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we're going to find out. Baseball's going to be given an opportunity. That's for sure. All right. Wrap it up with these OTA thoughts and looking forward to it coming up a little bit later on. We heard that big pop of lightning. Hopefully all this rain and weather will get out of here in time for these guys to get on the grass.
XL Prime Time, driven by Duval Ford. Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios, brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Looking for ways to save on your JEA bill? We're on it. When it comes to your utilities, the less you use, the more you can save. That's why JEA offers ways to help you manage your usage and avoid higher than expected bills. Use our online tools to monitor your usage throughout the month. Schedule a free irrigation or energy efficiency assessment and get personalized tips to save. And with JEA rebates, you can save when upgrading to more efficient equipment. Find more ways to save at JEA.com.
Hey, poker players, let's ride to the riches. Best Bet St. Augustine is giving away a brand new all-terrain side-by-side vehicle and cash prizes during the Ride to the Riches promotion. From May 1st through August 7th, every hour of poker and table games played at Best Bet St. Augustine earns you a chance to win over $40,000 in cash and prizes, including a top-of-the-line side-by-side all-terrain vehicle. Visit bestbetjacks.com for details. That's bestbetjacks.com, and we'll see you in St. Augustine.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a data analyst.
Hey, what model did you use for these quarterly projections?
Astrology. If Mercury's in retrograde, sales tank. If Venus is rising, we crush Q4.
You built our revenue forecast off horoscopes?
Yeah, the Zodiac never lies.
This is a job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call now for your free evaluation and see if multi-unit hair grafting or PRP can restore your hair. Call 904-777-IHRS.
My bald spots are gone. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS is the only clinic in the Southeast to offer all proven solutions to restore your hair and is now offering multi-unit hair grafting. One procedure, more hair.
You've got nothing to lose but more hair. I feel younger, I look younger, and who doesn't want to feel better about themselves?
This year, grow your hair back. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-4477.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Who lit it up last night? Brought to you by American-Electrical.com.
Another turnover. Anunoby, Brunson, alley-oop, and Anunoby with the slam. The turnovers once again killing the Cavaliers. Brunson sets up three-pointer. Anunoby with the follow. Once again, the Knicks with an avalanche.
If you think about how quickly Cleveland exited stage left and how much the Knicks have been able to do, I know the Eastern Conference isn't as good as the Western Conference, but man, they got to start. Are they smelling themselves yet, Leon?
Who's that?
The New York Knickerbockers, because they swept the Cleveland Cavaliers.
They did. They beat them down pretty good.
It's hard to believe that Cleveland at one point in game one was up by 22 with about 7 minutes to go in a game.
They never recovered.
Think about
never
this.
recovered
Okay.
from that.
All right. So after going up 22 with 7:45 left in game one, they got swept, lost every game by double digits, outscored by 99 points over the rest of the series from the moment they were up 22, outscored 99 points, And then obviously the New York Knicks sent them packing in a sweep. It's insane.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
Now, we were joking earlier, Coach Ingram, before we wrap up our show. We were laughing about the lack of championships that the New York sports fan base have been able to enjoy. It's been a minute since anyone's hoisted a trophy up there. The Yankees, what was it, 15 years?
Mm-hmm.
You got
2009.
Obviously, you guys in 7 and 12, 7 and 11 or 7 and 12 when the New York Giants won the Super Bowl.
The last one was 11.
11. So 7 and 11.
Mm-hmm.
And ain't nobody done anything up there in a long
It's
time.
been 27 years for these people.
Yeah.
And they're excited. But there's one thing in New York is it doesn't matter. If you win in New York, everybody's all in.
Mm-hmm.
You may not be a fan of the Knicks, but you are now.
Yeah.
And you look at you talk about covering. There are more Knicks fans at away games than just as many, than at homes. Everybody's all in.
Oh, I believe that.
We know Spike's happy. Spike Lee. We know he's happy.
I mean,
for
they
sure.
got 3 Villanova players
Yeah.
that are playing phenomenal right now. They're playing great team
They really are.
basketball that you love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they really are. And you can go Carl Anthony Towns, obviously what Jalen Brunson's doing, and Anunoby, any of those guys. And you can throw Josh Hart in there. They got some guys that are playing with some confidence.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
for sure. I was going to see if I could find
Coach, how crazy? How crazy would New York be if they won their championship basketball? I mean, I know I was crazy. Now they love their football, so I can only imagine what New York was when y'all won those 2 Super Bowls.
It might be even bigger because
Wow.
I'm gonna tell you, so when I look at the skyscrapers, see, we don't have all that here,
Mm-hmm.
but the skyscrapers, there were people throwing papers out the window from way up above.
Yeah.
All the way down the streets. It doesn't matter. I'm like Jet fan. It doesn't matter. Hockey fans, they just come out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it was like the whole city lit up. They're gonna be so excited. It's been this long. I mean, they're gonna be coming out.
Do y'all include Jersey or no? No Jersey? No?
Oh, Jersey too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If they want to look across the east of the Hudson, they can count
Jersey
them.
becomes New York in a heartbeat.
Gotcha. I got you.
Yeah.
All right. Let's say hello to Helmets and Heels.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
All right, Lauren Brooks joins us now. Helmets and Heels getting ready to roll.
I like that you're still sporting the red, white, and blue today.
Yeah, I'm still Memorial Day.
I love it.
Memorial Day in it. I was in red, white, and blue. TLD was in red, white, and blue over the weekend, and
perfect.
Yeah, we had a good time. You had a good Memorial Day.
We did, yes,
Yeah?
thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of family, a lot of fun.
Yep.
Went to the beach Saturday and Sunday, and had pool time both Saturday and Sunday. So
Awesome.
I'll take that all day.
Yep, and
All
hopefully
weekend.
they would like to have a little full time today.
Yeah.
Does camouflage count?
Yeah,
Absolutely. Because it's military-esque.
There you go. All
So
right.
yes, that counts.
All right.
And
That's
then
right.
Coach Ingram's in all black because he's honoring the fallen with the
Okay.
all black. So
All
yeah,
right.
I think
Okay.
it all works.
All by design.
There
Yeah,
you go.
absolutely.
All right, what is coming up?
Well, we were sending Tom to OTAs for the first hour, but I wonder if the weather might have changed his plans. So he
Yeah.
might be in with us after all. But we've got drama in sports, so we'll certainly get to all of that. And of course, talk some Jaguars as well.
Yep. All right, that sounds good. We will be listening.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yep,
All right.
because if Tommy is going to be able to be out there, he'll be able to see a little bit of it. And then the plan is the Frangie Show will be there. JJ, they will have Liam, James, and Tony.
That's the word.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's
all right.
pretty good get.
Yeah, so you guys got to stick around for that. All right, first guy you want to put your eyes on, Big Sirs, when you're out there.
Come on now, Pregnant.
Pregnon. Yeah. Coach, first guy you want to put your eye on?
Reese.
Huh?
Running back.
Okay.
Reese.
All right, Bashal. All right, real quick. Things that didn't exist the last time the Knicks were in the NBA final. Did not exist. iPhone, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, X, Tesla, SpaceX, Bitcoin, Gmail, Amazon Prime, Google Maps, Netflix. You can go on and on
And
and
like
on.
3 or 4 employees at Sense and Excel.
Yeah, I think you're right that we're not around when the Knicks made it.
I was 4.
Yeah. 4 years old. That is nuts.
What you're talking about since they won.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
made it in 99.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Since they
73.
made it.
Well, in 73, I was 4. How about that?
Hey, you were still a young pup in
I was,
1999 too. Don't forget
Yeah, I
that.
was.
All right, we are done. Coach Ingram, thanks for hanging out with us. We will have stuff coming at you on the social channels from Jaguars OTAs. So be locked into 1010XL all day long.
XL.